it's taking a bit of time. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no big deal about it. You have it here on by any time from now. Okay. Okay. Mhm. So okay, there it is. The page has come. So now it's initializing. It's trying to take to get the taxi tables from there. Yeah. So you can see it has connected to ZRI server. So now since we have connected there, now we don't have to do anything. Everything is okay. We have checked. So you can close that one. Yeah, close that one. Then you go straight into the software and the login. So I'll log in here without wasting my time as admin manager here. Okay, so now here you select the COM port which you are going to use for invoicing. Okay, so I'll push in the password here. Then here I'm going to use it. Okay, in terms of currency, any type of currency which you can think of, you can use it depending the way you are invoicing your currency here. So I'm assuming that we are going to, okay, for me, I'm going to use Zambian kwacha here. Okay, so here I'll put, since Zambian kwacha is kwacha to kwacha, so it's one exchange rate. So here I'll simply choose the head office and press enter here. Without wasting time, we wait for it to reach 100%, then it will take us to the main menu. Okay, yeah. So we are almost there. There we are. We are on the main menu. You can see the clock is running there. Everything meaning signifying that everything is okay. Now, let's see, because we don't know what your business, what you do. First, we'll walk you through on the project costing. Then from there, we go to some other modules depending to the time which we have. So let's, without wasting time, let's see, go to project costing. You can enter your actual cost here, costing here, estimate costing here, cost elements there, print the report, estimate reports there, then project certification, you enter it there, project name there, tax invoice, sales report here, project print, you can print it here, cost certified, you can do all these reports are there. Okay, so now let's assume that we have a project called Ndora Dual Carriageway. Okay, so what we will do, we simply say Ndora Dual, okay, Ndora Dual Carriageway as a project which we are undertaking in the Copper Belt Dual Carriageway. Carriageway. Okay, so let's say our contact person is Samuel James, so we'll add it there. Then now the next thing which we need to do is to make sure that that same project is appearing under the coding here. So it's there, Ndora Dual Carriageway. Okay. Now you need to make sure that you have also attached the tax labels for the purpose of the gadget to work. Yeah, so you come here under new pricing. If we have that, it's already there. So the tax labels I was talking about are here. So as you can see here, we have A, B, C1, C2, C3, D, like that. A is the standard rate 16%. B, those are RRP. C1 for export. C2 for privilege client, those who do not pay tax. C3, these are zero rated. D, exempt. T, tourism. I, insurance, and so forth. Okay, everything is there. Let me not waste my precious time on that one. So the next thing you need to check whether you have a customer where you want to invoice the to make an invoice. Yes, we have Ndora planning branch. We can use that one. So now what you do is, let's see, issue an invoice. Since we have everything there, you just simply come here and create an invoice here. We simply do this. Select the customer here. Okay, we say the Ndora planning group here. Okay, then here category sells the invoice mode. Okay, then here the project ID was 543-AB. Okay, depending the way you are doing the coding there for your project. So here we use we use the tax invoice. But remember, when you are reversing, you pass a credit note. We select a credit note there. Yeah. So now here project contract is this one, dollar geo carriageway. As you can see, it comes here direct. So now this is the project name, right? All right. So now here, since it's just one, you put one here. Okay. So now, what is the current cost? Uh, the certified amount which you have agreed with the certificate which you have in your hands. Let's say maybe I see 350,000. Okay. Now, is there any amount withheld? That amount we call it retention. Let's say maybe retention is 25,000. Here you enter the retention in minus. Okay. Yeah. So now, as you can see, it has done everything here. Previously is 0. Okay. Now, final price and what have you? Okay, we have everything done there. Cumulative, as you can see, it has also, if you check here under cumulative, is taking the same amount here because there's no previous amount. If it had previous, it has found the previous amount, it would have added the current cost plus the previous amount to come up with the cumulative. The same applies for retention. So we have done with our invoice, it's already done. So all we need to do is to add it, okay? Then open the gadget here. Okay, we have opened the gadget for signing. As you can see, it says start processing the invoice detail now. Please note that the port is open. So you simply say okay. You wait a little bit for the gadget, ZRI gadget to put a signature on your invoice. Once it has done that, it will tell us, yeah, it has finished. So you simply say okay. Now you want to see how the invoice looks like. Okay, so today is 22 to 22 because we want to print that invoice so that we are able to see we have posted it anyway, but we can still reprint it. I know the invoice number 43. So let's print it and see how it looks like. Then from there we move on. Okay. Right. We have our invoice coming through. Right. Okay. That is our invoice. Right. Now I'm trying to make it large. As you can see, the current cost is the same as cumulative because there was no previous there. If the previous amounts were there, it would have added this to this to come up with that. So you can see this column is the same as this. That's way how it is. So the signing of the gadget is here. You can see the terminal ID there, the ESD time, invoice code there, invoice number. All this information comes from the ZRIA server. Okay, the physical code also comes in there. Okay, this is your normal invoice A4 copy, which you send it to the customer there. So here it has also the QR code here. Okay, down here, and also your banking details here. Now your banking details, before, if you intend to buy this software, you have to give us so that we factor these in for you. That's how it works. So since we have our invoice, we have seen everything there, and we have posted our invoice, we don't have to waste our time. We can move on. Okay. So let's check a few things here. Sales report. Okay. Now sales report also. Want to see the sales report, you can come here and see how your sales report looks like. Right? Okay, and preview it there. Right. This is the simplest software which you can ever find. We remember we processed that invoice, and this is what has happened. Our VAT and everything is showing here. Okay, the ZRI invoice number is here. Everything is there. So this is the report which you use for counting for your VAT at the end of the month. Very simple and straightforward. There's no issue here. So I'll close it here. I won't even waste my time here. Now, what happens if, for example, because we remember what I said, we don't know your business. Suppose you are engaged in selling aluminium. So what we do is we'll simply come here and create another code. Okay, Do we have anything? Oh, yeah, aluminium we have there. Okay, fine. Aluminium windows also is fine. So let's assume that that's what you are saying. You are not involved in the project accounting. It's just the normal sales, standard sales. So it's simple. You simply come here, okay, and create now a standard invoice, which is totally different from what we are seeing there. All right. So now let's assume that okay. mm, this system actually allows you to start from the quotation, purchase order, uh, D note, then customer invoice. So let's start from there. So I'll close here. Yeah. Although it allows you to also to go direct if you don't need all those. So I just want to show you how it works in detail. Let's assume that now we create a quotation, because a quotation is what you send to the customer to invite them to come or to show them the prices of whatever product which you are selling. So let's assume that, okay, again, this is same dollar planning group. We want to give them a quotation. Okay, so now what do they want to buy? Is aluminum windows. Okay, so now we say building material. Yeah, building materials. Right? Yeah. So how many? Let's say maybe 10. Whatever it is. At how much? Maybe 520.55. Okay. Is there any discount? Maybe there's no discount. If there is a discount, you put it there. Okay. So the quotation has come there. So you simply add it here. Okay. Then print your quotation and send it to the customer. Remember that is quotation number one. Okay. So we simply print a quotation here. Then if you need to sign, you can sign it off, scan it, send it to the customer. Just put it in PDF. Then from there you can just attach it and send it to the customer. There it is, our quotation. Okay. As you can see, properly done. Everything is there. Our details are there. Yeah. You can even, this is the way how it is. VAT is also accounted for everything. Okay, fine. So yeah, so you can send it to the customer. So now after the quotation is done, let's assume that the customer decided to place a sales order. What do? You simply come back here to say, oh, okay, fine. Sales order, click the sales order. All you need to do is convert that quotation into a sales order. So you simply come here and select the quotation number, which is that one. Okay, then you select the customer there, which is in dollar planning group, which is this one. Okay, yeah, then automatically, as you can see, it has converted that quotation into the sales order. All you need to do is simply add here. Okay, yeah, once you add, you simply select now the new sales order and print it here, as simple as that. Okay, this is the simplest software which you can come along with. So you just print it here. No difficulties whatsoever. Anyone can use it. This is designed to make life so easy. Yeah. So we just wait a little bit for the quotation for the sales order to pop up so that we see how it looks like. Then from there, the same thing, we can either put it in PDF or whatever. Here is our sales order now. Okay, okay, our sales order, as you can see, is written sales order there. Copied from where? From the quotation. Again, it looks, the numbers are the same, except that is written now sales order here. You can now confirm the order and give it, send it back to the customer. Now, let's assume that now these items are ready. Okay, now what do? You need to create now an invoice. Okay, so now what you do, you simply come here and select customer invoice. Okay, right. So here you select now the sales order number, which is number one. You would have printed it by now, no issue. You have it in your hands. So you simply select the customer here, which is this one, dollar planning group. Then here, what do? You select the document type here. Very simple, okay? Then here, it says select the order to attach. Remember you had that sales order which is in number 1. Just select it there. Then now here it will ask you, do you have another order to select? And here, since you have already selected, it's only once. This function is only used in a situation where you don't have an order to select. Then you simply say, okay, no, I don't have. You see, it copies the quotation there, sorry, the sales order there, and it brings everything there. Your job is to simply save. You are already done. There is nothing to start doing whatever, calculating numbers. It's irrelevant. You don't need that. Let the system do the job for you. So you simply say, okay. Then from there, have it signed here. Select it. You see it has already come here. I will select here. Then the gadget opens here. I will simply say, okay, and wait for the gadget to sign it. It ends there. Once it signs, then it will pop it to bring a small message there to inform me that, as you can see, it has brought a message to say the gadget has crossed. Now I'll simply say okay. Now the next thing, I want to print my invoice so that I send it to the customer. Let's see this invoice how it looks like. Okay, it's totally different from project invoice. This one is totally different. So you simply click there and you preview the invoice. So let's see how it looks like. Then from there we move on to some other areas. You don't have to waste time. Then there is our invoice. Look the way how it looks like. This one is a standard invoice, a normal invoice, which I think you are familiar with. Yeah. If you look at it, the same, it looks like a sales order, but the difference is you can see the terminal ID coming from the gadget EST time. Like the other one which we are looking at, it's almost similar, though the format is totally different, as you can see here. Yeah, all these physical invoice, physical code, everything is there. Now, when you come here, it will do some analysis. As you can see, it has all these things, totally different from the other one. QR code is also there. So this is the other part of handling ZRI, depending to the kind of business which you have. So these are the standard invoices approved by ZRI which you are supposed to use. Now, after doing that, all you needed to do is have it posted here. Okay, you post it there. Yeah, then it goes. Then after posting, we are done. So in this case, if you are doing the POS, you can come here. You have all these functions. You can create the same thing, but due to time, I want to go through that. Okay, because I still have to show you something. You mentioned something like, what about the ERP? Okay, let's assume that we want to order some aluminum from somewhere again. So the next thing which we need to do is to make sure that we check if we have suppliers. Okay. Now let's assume that okay, maybe our suppliers for this one where we want to order, the order is maybe Nactor Zambia Limited. Okay, is it? So now here address, you put the address in normal way, town, Lusaka there, whatever it is, country, Zambia, okay, TPIN, maybe you have a TPIN, something like this, I don't know, yeah, whichever is applicable. So you simply add it there. Then in the next thing, create an order, as simple as that, okay, create here an order, you come here, purchase order here, okay, then, yeah, you move on like that, then the purchase order here, right? Then okay, what is the name? That is the name. The date of the purchase order is 22, right? The department where these goods are going, maybe is for engineering. Okay. What else? What currency are you going to use? Maybe in this case we are still using Zan Kwacha. Okay. Delivery. When do you need them? Let's say soon. Okay, payment 30 days. Okay, depending on the way you agree. Okay, right? Quotation, maybe this is the quotation number here. Then you simply select the product here. What product? These are the products which we are ordering. Now, when we are ordering, which warehouse where are we going to put it? Or sorry, which company? Head office, of course, will come to the head office. How many? Maybe 100. At what cost value? 56 kwacha. Okay. Is there any VAT? Yes, maybe there's a VAT. You put the percentage there. It ends there. So you simply save it. Now, in an event where you feel like maybe you have made a mistake, you can still record the purchase order. Just simply come here and do this. Yeah, there it is. You can amend it several times, 1 million times, doesn't matter. Yeah. So now the next thing, let's assume that now we have received our goods. So you go under GRIN to create a GRIN here. Okay. Yeah, so you come here, you put the GRIN date, let's say maybe it's the same day we received these goods, then you select the purchase order number here, okay, which is number 2, okay. Then foreign currency, remember it was kwacha to kwacha, so it's 1. So now, who is the supplier? Okay, you select the supplier, which is this one. So the moment you do that, the order becomes is copied. It becomes a what? A GRN. The only job which you have is simply save it there. That's all. Nothing else. Everything is done. If you want to print, you can print it. But due to the lack of time, I won't go that side. I want to cover as much as I can. So now, let's say even the what the now, before we do that, let's say we have received the invoice as well. Now, before we do that, I wanted to see the accounting entries, how they are. Okay, yeah. So I'll go there, trial balance for the day. Let's see the accounting entries. Oh, sorry, I haven't posted the GRIN. Don't forget to post the GRIN like the way I've just forgotten it. So I will need to post just the GRIN here. Okay, the GRIN number is here. Yeah, so I have to make sure that it's posted. Okay, that's the order number. I'm matching it right now. So those are matched there. So I will simply say post here, then approve here. Okay, have you seen that it has written to say, please note that your GRN matching with the order is now complete. Meaning the order, there is nothing that has remained. So all the quantities have come. If some of the quantity didn't come, it would have said the order is not complete. Okay, so I'll say okay. As you can see, simply performing some double entries. Then here I'll simply say okay. Now I want to check my accounting entries here. I'll simply come here and select the trial balance here. Okay, for the day, I'm only interested for the day. If I was interested for the whole year to date, I would have used the other one. Yeah, all those things you will know. I just wanted to show you how this thing works. Okay, so this one takes a little bit of time because the trial balance has to go through so many tables which are actually operating CA premium. It goes through to check what is there. So as you can see, this is my trial balance. Now I need to explain it to you so that you understand it very well. The invoices, sales invoices which we are doing are all here, yeah, including the project invoice and the normal standard invoice. These are the sales are grouped here and the data is also there. Okay, yeah. So there is my VAT which is output there. Okay. Now notice one thing. There is now GRIN suspense. When you see GRIN suspense, it means that you haven't yet received the what? The invoice. That's why we have this account. The moment we key in the invoice, this will disappear. It will shift, this amount will shift to creditors. As you can see, the stock is showing that. But now the input VAT is not yet in at this point because we haven't yet accounted for the invoice is not yet accounted for, but at the end here the entries are balancing as you can see here. Okay, so we close it here without problems. So now let's assume that we have received the invoice, purchase invoice. So you come here and the what? Process the supply invoice here, right? Okay, so you come here and select a GRN number, which you should be attached to all the paperwork here. All right, select the date. We said the same date we had all these things. Now, the invoice is this one. Oh, sorry, you selected the invoice type there, okay? Then foreign currency, it was kwacha to kwacha. Here you put the actual invoice number. Maybe this is the invoice number there, all right? Now, all you need to do here, select the supply. Who is that supply? Is this one Nectar. And wait, and you see what happens. You see, it copies everything, yeah, including the 16%, everything. It has added there. Your job is to simply save. You don't do anything. You simply go back to to have your cup of tea. Everything is already there. You need a calculator, it's there. Everything is there. You don't have to calculate anything. So simply exit it. Then the next thing, just post your purchases. Post your purchases in journal here. You simply come here, select it, then post it. Select posting here. That's all. There we are. Please check that your invoice matching is this is now complete. You simply say okay. You can see the double entries running down in the background there. Successive. So you simply say okay, close it here. That's all. Now let's go back to our advanced accounting and see. You see the trial balance are two. This one is for year to date. Okay. Then this one is just for if you want to check for that a particular period. Now, because there are only a few entries for today, so that's why I'm using this one, so that I don't waste much of your time. So now simply say preview here. Then you wait a little bit for the software to compile the trial balance for today, so that we see how our entries are. Remember, I said once the invoice is posted, we should see the GRN suspense disappearing. As you can see, it has disappeared. It has shifted everything to creditors, and it has also created an empty VAT. That's how simple the ERP which we are talking about works. Okay, yeah. So I hope I've explained it to you very well how this thing works here. Now the next thing, what about the services? Those invoices for services, those are straightforward. You pass them through, you pass those through accountant journal here. All right. Okay. Yeah, you use this one to pass those. Yeah, straightforward. Now, what about if we want to make a payment? How is it done? Very good. You simply come under purchases. You go to payment voucher. Okay. Yeah, you are paying a supplier. Let's say we are paying this guy for aluminium where we bought it. So maybe we are paying the same day here, right? Then you select the supplier here, right? Then maybe we are paying a check. So we say check number, maybe, oh, this is okay. Check number like that. Okay. Now, when you tab will go into the Excel sheet, you are telling the system to say you want all the invoices not yet paid belonging to Nectar Zambia. As simple as that. Then you simply tab here. The system has already put those invoices in the background. You simply select them here. Have you seen that this is the invoice number there? I'll select that invoice number. It has filled everything for me. If you are paying any party payment, you can change this one so that the amount which you are paying it shows there. The balance will remain here. Next time when you will come, you will find that we selected that invoice, it will come automatically. If I say this is the amount which we are paying, then it means that next time when we'll make a payment, it won't show here. Okay, so maybe here I will say okay, full payment, also right. Then save. Yeah. Remember, if I've made a mistake, you can still If you have made a mistake, you can still recall it back here so that you can amend it. You can see it comes back here, no issue. So I'm not amending anything. Now, I want it to print now. I want to print the payment voucher. How am I going to do it? Okay, no problem. I'll come here, okay, and print my payment voucher here. I'll select the date here, okay, yeah. So CA Premier is not about accounting for you just account for invoice for Zeta. It does a lot of things here. Okay. So here you select the supplier here, right? And the preview. Yeah. You account for all the core accounting system. You have payroll, you have everything. This is your payment voucher. Okay. There we are. Yeah. So this is what you are paying. Check number is there, invoice number which you are paying. Yeah, here you are saying full payment. Yeah, and here the totals are there. QR code is also there. Yeah, the person who created the payment purchase myself. Remember, I logged in as admin. Sign it. It ends there. Okay. So right. So now, what about my ledger? Customer ledger. How is it looking like? Okay, it goes. You go there, customer ledger, and print it for the day. Okay, so I'll come here and have it printed, right? Yeah. Um, so that we see how the entries are. I'll select that. Now here, because these are creditors, I'll select creditors, okay, and press enter. Then pressure. Okay, so I'll wait a little bit for my customer ledger to be compiled so that I see. Now, follow me very carefully. You can see this check is actually referencing the invoice number which is being paid here. You can see a debit here and the balance is showing here 0 because I've paid. Remember I said I'm paying in full. Okay, if there was any opening balance it would have come there. This is how good it is working with CA Premium. You have a proper ledger which you can use for your reconciliation and everything. It ends there. So I'll close it here. So for these other things, because you wanted the ERP, I've shown you the ERP, how it works. The sales accounting, both the project accounting, normal standard sales, the POS, I've shown it to you. Now